A few minutes ago, we pushed the big red launch button on the new FormKit Pro Datepicker. This input has been in the works for months and it has some absolute magic up its sleeves. So I'm excited to show it to you for the very first time right now. So where I think we should start talking about the date picker is actually the native date input. So this is just a standard input type date in HTML. And here you can see you get this placeholder MMDDYYY. And I can use my keyboard to navigate between these sections, or I can click on them. And then over on the right-hand side, I get this nice little calendar pop-up. And what's great about the date input is that the format that it's asking me for is variable based on my locale. So for example, here in the United States, it's asking me for MMDDYYY. In another location, this might be year, month, day instead. The last thing that I want to point out about the native date input is that it allows you to just type. So I can type in, December 17, 1999, and that is an acceptable date. And it does this in a clever way by showing you the formatting that it expects you to enter the date in, and then only allowing you to enter the date in that format that it already knows how to parse. Let's take this date input and convert it into a FormKit date picker. So I'll just come in here and add picker to the end of this, and my input converts to a date picker. And as you can see, just like the native input, which we are trying to emulate to a large degree, you can see that the format is written out there. Now, if I want to make that look a little more placeholdery, I can just add overlay, and that'll give it a nice placeholdery kind of look. Or I could even add a placeholder. Let's say select a date. Excellent. Now, when I click in here, I, just like in the native input, am able to navigate between the different sections of the date that it's asking me for. I can even use my keyboard to navigate between them. And what's really great is because we're using the native international datetime format, we are actually able to know the words of the dates, not just the numbers. So I can just type December 17, 1987. And as you can see here, I can navigate between the sections and it auto completes my month name. So as I start to type, J, well, there's multiple months with J. So it starts with January, U, June, L, Y, July. And I can hit tab to move between these or shift tab to move backwards. And I can type in any valid number, but I cannot type an invalid number. So for example, if I'm trying to type 32, I'm unable to type 32, which is actually something that's really unique for date pickers, is not allowing you to type invalid dates like that. Additionally, I can come into any of these segments and I can actually hit the up or the down key to cycle through the available options for each of those. Right now I'm hitting my up key or my down key to cycle through. I can actually change the format that we're requesting. So if I come over here and ask for a format, and I can say I would like the date to be in the full format. Now this is really extensive. It's going to ask me for the day of the week, which might sound crazy at first, but it's actually sort of an interesting way to ask for dates. So here you can see that this is Thursday, January 1st, 1903. Okay, well, let's make that more relevant. Let's do 2023. And if you could see, the day of the week here is actually changing as I'm changing the day of the calendar. So for example, if I move from January 1st, I'm just going to hit the up key to go to January 2nd. You can see this is Monday now, and it knows that automatically. This can actually be a really helpful way, depending on the type of date you're asking, to make sure the user is selecting the right time. Even better than that, I can go over here to Thursday, and it knows that the next day is Friday. So if I hit the up key, or I start typing Friday, it'll autocomplete, and you can see the date just moved from January 5th to January 6th. Now, the date picker also supports time entry. So let's change this from full back to something more reasonable, like long. And then we can add time. And I'm just going to ask for it in short format. What you'll see now is that I actually get a sentence written out here. December 17th, 1999 at 12:55 a.m. or p.m. Let's do a.m. Okay, honestly, there's so much more to talk about. I'm just going to have to point you to the docs. There's other really exciting things like time zone support. But I do want to address this date style one last time. Why does it matter? Why does it matter to define your date as a long date versus saying I want it in month, day, year? And the reason is because we can automatically adapt it to the different locales. For example, here, I'm going to override my FormKit configuration just for this one input. And I'm going to change my locale to German. As you can see, the format that it was asking for automatically changed. So here I can enter my dates, and sure enough, I'm getting German date names as I cycle through here. How about Italian? Sure enough, there they are. You can even do Cyrillic languages like Ukrainian. I have no idea what date I have selected here, but it is apparently in Ukrainian. And if I take a look here, all of the formats inside of my calendar are reflected as well. Okay, so that's a really quick overview of the date picker in FormKit. I hope you check it out in the docs, formkit.com, because there's a lot more information in there, all kinds of exciting ways to store and parse dates. Please take a look, formkit.com. Thanks.